Alright guys, welcome. Friday. This is Cha Rule Show. It's probably been over a month since I've been on here. I'm finally getting back into the swing of things. I've been moving. I was on vacation and then I was moving. I'm hoping my mic's not too loud and the music's alright. So I'm just starting off here. I almost didn't go live today. I was like, I gotta do it. It's been too long, so I want to get on here and help some people out. Jimmy, let's talk about it. The music is still loud. Okay, I do have it closer to my mic than normally. I have it under it. All right. Professor Ban, if you renounce your citizenship, then can I still do any business on the public side? Yes, absolutely. It's all about corporations. It just depends on what entity you want to do the business with. You know, you can create public entities, you can create private ones, you can create corporations, souls, you can create LLCs, you can S-corps, holding companies, offshore accounts. You know, it's all about how you want to do business. But you don't have to renounce your citizenship, because the citizen is just a corporation that you can use as a tool. You don't have to use it. It is a benefit and a privilege that is offered to the controllers, or from the controllers who created it, for you to use as a limited liability buffer shield to do business with. So it's up to you, basically, if you want to use that entity or not. Well, I'm chilling, guys. I'm in my new office. I got a big upgrade. I'm loving it. It is got a lot of room to grow, and I finally dropped my first video yesterday from like I said, it's been a month. I was out on vacation for 2 weeks. Thanks for all the hearts and shares and follows and all that. I appreciate it. And Healing Goddess, thank you for the heart. Much appreciated. And then as soon as I got back, I wanted to change offices, because the amount I was spending at the place I was at, I wanted to spend a little more, and I got so many more amenities. I'm out here. I got all kinds of things. I got a pool. I got access to a pool. I got a gym. I got stuff that makes life much more enjoyable. And I'm able to come on here at odd hours like now. Normally I would go on 2 or 3 o'clock, and now I can come on here willy-nilly. It'd be a lot easier. All right, so Rod Williams, you gave me a lot of knowledge. I love you for that. I'm glad that you are accepting and receiving knowledge, because you are on a very good path to be enlightened. Very few people want to take the time or effort to be educated in any shape or form, and that's what separates the men from the boys, or the people, the kids from the adults. I should say that, because there's a lot of women that are very intuitive and in tune to knowledge as well. And that, I'm telling you, knowledge is very powerful, but you can also get drowned in all of the misinformation and spend your whole life. I spent a lot of time learning codes and statutes and stuff, but it just depends on what you're interested in and what you want to do with your time. You can spend the rest of your life reading commercial code, just the UCC if you want to study that. And that's one of the reasons why there's attorneys that are subject matter experts in certain areas, because there's just so much stuff out there. Maybe the music is kind of loud. Let me turn this down. I used to play it. I think there was a frequency issue. I used to play it on my screen, and I got a funny story for y'all. Y'all gonna love this. So I went to Puerto Rico with my girl. We were there for 2 weeks, and the last night we were there, the last day, my car got broken into. I had a brand new rental car. I was pulling stickers off of it when I got it. The last night we were there, somebody broke into our car, and we didn't even know. When we got back from the river, we got in, and we were driving, and I heard wind coming through the car, and I was like, oh no, I think somebody might have tried to break in. And when we first got in the car, we checked our wallets, and our phones were still there. So the thief didn't take our phones or wallets, but when I told her to check in the wallets, all the money was gone. And luckily it was at the end of the trip, so I had spent almost all my money. I think they got $80 for me. But guess what? They got a brand new $2,000 laptop that was in my book bag in the back because we were changing Airbnbs to get closer to the airport to leave in the morning. So these suckers got me for like $80, a $2,000 laptop, all of my toiletries, all that stuff on my last night there. And that really sucked. The rental car company wanted me to do a police report in order to even do the damages, and we went to the police station. I'm like, this is pointless. They're never gonna find my laptop. It's just a waste of time. And then when we turned in the car later, they were like, oh, we didn't need a police report. It was just a complete waste of time. But hands down, Puerto Rico is amazing. It's got almost everything. It's got deserts, it's got mountains, it's got rainforests, it's got beautiful beaches that like nobody's on all around the whole island, and just absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. Professor Ban, is the do not detain list regarding sovereigns real or just a myth? I made a video on it just recently, Professor Ban. You can watch it. It's real. It's legit. But when I talked to a police officer about it, their job is still to identify you and assess whether or not you're engaged in enemy activity or involved in like harming people or suspicious stuff. Because if you are and you're on the do not detain list, then it depends on what the CIA and the most prevalent one is if they're building a giant case against you for being a terrorist. If you are considered a terrorist, and that's what a lot of these sovereign, quote-unquote, sovereign citizens will get you put on. They'll get you put on lists for being a terrorist. And the do not detain list doesn't really work because either if you're doing something crazy, they'll deport you or they'll still write you up. And even diplomatic immunity doesn't work. They still get tickets, but they just don't pay it because they know that at the end of the day, it's typically not worth the country that they're in reporting it or trying to deport them for a traffic violation. So the most prevalent get out of trouble do not detain list thing is for diplomatic immunity where they don't pay traffic tickets, and that's it. But yeah, I have it is true, and it is, like I said, the biggest one is the terrorist list, and if you watch my video on it, it'll explain it all. Jimmy B's mojitos, no, I had a few Heinekens, that was about it. I don't really drink much anymore. Amex covers certain items when traveling. Ask them what they cover. Yeah, there's insurance, traveler's insurance that I could have had also, but I'm not sure. I didn't I didn't expect to get robbed or lose a laptop. It was locked in my car, and it was funny as my girl thought I should park facing the road, but I had one door towards the mountain, and she said that if she would have told me to repark, I probably would have said don't worry about it anyway. She's right. I probably would have said no, we're good. No, anonymous, are those size 4 or 5 hooks? What? Oh, on the front, this is a logo that I designed for CNJ, and it's basically a golden fish hook that is spinning in different directions, but it's a C, an N, and a J. That's what it's for. It's for one of the corporations that I run, CNJ, one of my nonprofits. That is set up to establish to help y'all. That's what we're here for. It's a beautiful Friday. I hope y'all are enjoying yourself. I don't know where y'all are at, but I'm telling you, it feels like I brought the Caribbean weather with me when I came back because it has been storming and raining and hot and sweaty, and it's been just wild for the last 4 or 5 days, 6 days. Actually, it's been like a couple weeks, been crazy. So what's going on, everybody? Anybody got questions? This is established a setup to help y'all. I am recording. This live will be on YouTube. The audio will be in my Telegram group. All of my social medias are linked on my website, which is on my profile page of TikTok. I have playlists that I've created that have all kinds of things covered, including like the do not detain list, GGT process, accepted for value, return for value, trust law, like on and on and on and on and on. So like I said, I'm glad for everybody being on here and wanting to educate and enlighten themselves, but at the end of the day, it's really up to you of what you want to do with your time and your life, because that's what it's all about. A lot of the corporations are out there to keep us encapsulated and keep us from trying to grow and gain knowledge and become spiritual. And it can very quickly keep us all on lock. So Healing Goddess, it's been like that everywhere. Yeah, it probably has. I've seen the radar has huge amounts of rain everywhere. Thank you for the hearts, much appreciated. Cancer, my mother passed away a few days ago. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. You have been going through a lot the last year, buddy. I am so sorry to hear that. I apologize. Rod Williams, I need more info about trust law and do not detain. So watch the video of do not detain on my playlist, or on my profile. I also have a video on trust, and I have a lot of information on my website. If you go under Commerce Trust, you should be able to see file folders of information on it's Commerce Business Structures Trust. That's how you'll find it. Hey, ask why. Have you personally checked off no to U.S. citizen on the DS-11 and gotten a passport? Just checking. I did all of that and was getting ready to do all that jazz, and I just never did. I just actually have a special denotation on my actual passport on the special section. What I did on my passport was I just circled national, right? Because it says the holder of this passport is either a U.S. citizen or a national, and I just circled national on the front, and then in the special section I put something like the bearer is a state national. You know, so that's all I did. I almost tried to do the DS-11 thing and all that, and there's all kinds of information on my website for that as well if you want to look into the national passport. And I tried to reach out to one of my old mentors. I don't know if he's going to respond to me or not, but I did try to find out if he knows any information about the different stars. I have heard that depending on how many stars you have on your passport depends on what kind of security risk you are. But I can't verify that because it's private. The controllers who issue that stuff have that information in the private, and I don't have access to it, so I don't know how to verify any of that. Yes, Cancer, yes, you have been. I hope things will get better soon. Well, you know, I don't know. You know, sometimes you could say it could always be worse. You know, and when you hit the bottom, you could always say the only way to go is up. So, you know, try to keep your head up, and it's really hard to see the forest through the trees sometimes. But that's I apologize for your sorrows, man. My condolences. Red Temple Sorcerer, your yellow sign made of fish hooks is spectacular. Thank you. Yeah, I created it probably 13 years ago in a jail cell, and I wanted to come up with a logo for CNJ, and it basically is fishers of men, because that's what I am. I'm trying to help and enlighten people to see who is willing and worth the effort and time to plant seeds in and grow. So fishing for people is kind of what it's all about, and it stands for CNJ. Hey, ask why. So you never did the copper moonshine method? I did not. No, like I said, on my passport I just signed national, and I also put in the special section. But I've looked at that, and a lot of these things I don't like. They still want you to use a zip code, which is a federal zone. And at the end of the day, the national is just a corporation, just like the U.S. citizen. Now, it is a state control or a state corporation, and it's typically easily operating in the republic. But you got to be careful when you start dealing in Federal Reserve notes, because that's a benefit and privilege for the franchise bankrupt corporation. So. No, I never did the copper moonshine method. I do have that information on my website. I have a lot of that stuff needs to be desensitized or desanitized, because some of it is from old teachings and stuff like that. But I used it and gained a lot of the knowledge from all of my old teachers. And back when they were teaching the old technology, like accepted for value, returned for value, they thought it was the best that they could do. I went through the secured party creditor process before I basically figured out that it's garbage. You know, it's the people who created the U.S. citizen get to control it. You don't. You know, you get to use it like willy-nilly, but it's just like you registering your car. You get to do whatever you want with it, but the controllers, they want you to pay taxes, they want you to register, or every so often they want you to wear a seatbelt. They're the ones that get to control it because you registered it. The same thing with the U.S. citizen. When it's anything you register to the state, they control, and they use it as collateral against their books on the bankruptcy. So it's up to you what you want to do, or because you can create corporations that are outside of all of these jurisdictions. You don't have to use the U.S. citizen. Rod Williams, what do I think? Hey, Ask Why, you're welcome. Rod Williams, what do I think about David Straight? David Straight's somebody I gained a lot of knowledge from also. I think he's a great person to learn things from. He didn't do very well on the traveling without a license thing. I have videos on all that, on how to travel without a license. I suggest getting true title to the car. That's why I never went that route, is because I didn't get true title to my car. If you have control and true title of your car, and if you want to know if you control something, if you have to pay taxes on it, you don't control it. Okay, it's as simple as that. If you have to pay taxes on it, then that's not yours. That's somebody else's. And if you don't pay taxes on it, the controllers of that property will come and get it. So, you know, that's just one way to look at things. But David Straight is very knowledgeable. I've learned a lot from him. I learned how to, one of my favorite things from him was how to go after bonds on people. If somebody crisscrosses you and does something wrong, you know, you can do a commercial process and start that route. Brandon Christensen, also, what is the web address again so I can learn more about? If you're talking about my website, it's linked on my profile page of my TikTok. You just got to click on my little emblem and then look right there. It'll have a little chain link, and it'll be Anointed New Foundation of Peace.life. Rod Williams, what do you think about the dude David Straight? Yeah, I think I answered that. Sorry about my spelling, my phone acting funny. No worries, dude. Hey, Ask Why, have you done any of Patrick Devine's process? Yeah, I actually learned a lot from Patrick Devine, but I can't remember exactly what he does specifically, because I've learned from so many people, and I gain bits and pieces from everybody. And what I like doing is laying foundations, because once you start laying foundations, you're able to build upon them that can't be shaken. So what I've done with my knowledge and my research is I've studied for thousands and thousands of hours on hundreds of different subjects, all kinds of random things, and I started to put all the puzzle pieces together. These are grown-up puzzles. And once you sift through all that stuff, you're able to start seeing if something is a red flag. Like for instance, if I get a random message from some smoking hot banging chick on X that says, "Hey, nice to meet you. Wanna, blah blah blah." Just some random hot chick just starting to try to flirt with me. It's a red flag automatically, because 99.9% of the time, hot smoking chicks aren't just randomly approaching guys trying to flirt out of nowhere online. It just doesn't happen, So I've been able to do the same similar type things with my ability of commercial processes, to be able to sift through all the garbage that's out there, because there's a lot of misinformation that is peppered with a little bit of truth, and it seems so intriguing, and you got to be very careful when you're eating all that fruit. So it's good to take it in small doses and lay foundations. That's why I made playlists on my profile that lay foundations that you can build upon. Nature, Spirit, and Commerce. Brandon Christine also, okay. Yes. What? Okay, have you done, all right, Jazz, when are you going to have classes for us? So this is quote unquote what I would call class when I come on here live. It's Jazz. You're able to ask any question you want about nature, spirit, and commerce, and I spend time on everybody's question. I have playlists also, and you can also DM me, you can email me, you can call me, you can all that stuff. I constantly am helping and writing people and responding to DMs, messages, and stuff. As far as like classes, I've been approached and asked by a lot of people to create classes for helping educate people, and one of the things that I've noticed and learned is that in equity, everybody is on a case-by-case basis. Yes, there are some truths and foundations that you can lay, which I've done on my videos, but when the rubber meets the road, most people are only looking for very specific things, and 9 times out of 10, when someone DMs me and I say, "Hey, watch my playlist so that we're on the same page," I never hear from them again. Or they'll act like they watch it and then they really don't. Thank you for all the likes. I'm up to 2,000. I've only been here for 20 minutes. That's insane. It looks like coming on a little later on Friday is much more beneficial than doing it at 2 or 3. But hey, Ask Why, have you seen Creditors Academy's info on Patrick on YouTube? It's possible. I don't know. I've watched and regurgitated for a decade on all this information, and I was led astray by a lot of my teachers in the early stages, but they were doing the best that they thought they could, but they were also laying some foundations for me, and it also helps me to be able to chew through some of the garbage when I see people out there trying to tell you to do 1099As on a brand new car. That's you're going to jail. If you don't have an agreement between all the parties on that via either tacit acquiescence or doing a private administrative procedure or something, or a security agreement or whatever, you're going to get in trouble. And I have people that just think something's so good, they'll jump in, they'll have people hold their hand, tell them how to write the whole form and everything. This is how you put the account here, this is how you do this, that, and the other. Like homegirl, what was her name? Bree Divine. Bree Divine's how I started my commercial process. She's not how I started TikTok. I started on TikTok because my ex was putting some risque stuff on TikTok, and I wanted to just see what she was doing. And so I got on TikTok, and then next thing I know, I saw all this cool stuff that wasn't on mainstream media, and you're able to learn. And so I'm like, whoa! I was like, TikTok. I was downloading so many videos. It was awesome. And then I was scrolling through, and then Bree Divine was out here giving out all kinds of misinformation on traveling without a license. And then, oh my gosh, that's how I started my first commercial video. Started laying some heavy truths. And then next thing I know, she's telling people you don't have to pay taxes. She's like, all you got to do, I'm sitting there, and this is what kind of, it's not about the numbers, but I'm getting throttled down by TikTok tremendously. I'm lucky if my videos get past 1,000, and a lot of them are gold, And this girl put out this video, and it had almost 1 million or something views. And she's like, yeah, I don't got to pay taxes. All you got to do is write the IRS and tell them I'm a human. It's like, I'm like, are you kidding me? What kind of garbage? Oh my gosh. Almost 1 million views. People are eating it up, loving it. They're like, oh, teach me. And now I think she's been banned, or she's probably in jail, because I think I actually saw her trying to sell classes to teach people how to do taxes, how to do their taxes. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm out here giving all to everybody, trying to teach all the truth and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it's just wild. Sweet Rescuer, hi, how have you been? Thanks for coming on. I haven't been on here for a month, so I'm glad you got to catch me. I'm on here kind of later than usual. It's only been 30 minutes in, so I normally stay on here for an hour, guys, so please feel free to ask any questions and all. This live will be on YouTube. The audio will be on my Telegram group. I have playlists created on my website, I have playlists, well, they're linked on my website, but I have playlists on my profile page of TikTok, including my website, that gives auxiliary information to help edify and allow you to gain more knowledge and become more active and aware with what's actually going on out there in the world. A lot of people are not understanding how things really work, because there is a public and a private, and in the public, people are very uneducated, they're crazy, and they're bankrupt, because they think that Federal Reserve notes are actually money. Sweet Rescuer, haven't seen you in live in forever. Seems like, hope all is well. I'm doing well. I just got back from vacation. I just finished moving, so I'm like, I've been doing a lot, and got a nice place that I'm working from now in my office, and much needed upgrade. And I hope you're doing well too. I haven't talked to you in forever. Every once in a while we'll chat. But Corvetta, Do you have info on fixing credit? Yes, I have all kinds of information depending on what you're trying to do. You know, the main thing is to fix each individual account. And a lot of people don't understand this, but the credit reporting agencies are just receiving information from other parties, right? So you got to fix the information that was sent to them. Don't come after the credit reporting agency. Everybody wants to go after the credit reporting agency. Same thing with the IRS. The IRS is just an individual, neutral, third-party accounting system. Well, same thing with the credit reporting agency. They're just a third-party, neutral account reporters. They're just receiving information from other people and reporting what they receive. And everybody wants to get all mad at Experian and Credit, TransUnion, all this stuff. And they're just reporting stuff that the U.S. citizens screwed up or didn't do well on. Even though it's all smoke and mirrors, banks don't want to have to deal and spend legal fees and repossession trying to deal with someone who's not going to pay their bills. So even though your signature creates funds, in the public, nobody knows that. So, Corvetta, that is my information on fixing credit. Depends on what you're trying to do, but typically you have to go after each individual issue that you have faulted. You can do a private administrative procedure on each one of them if that's what you want to do to get it fixed. And then once you get the issue fixed that was reported to the credit union, then you go back to the credit reporting union and say, hey, correct your books and records because this doesn't exist anymore. Or say, if you don't correct your books and records, I'm going to come after you because you're harming the credit of the U.S. citizen that I used. Ryan Wimsat, do you know how to fill out the remittance coupon at the bottom of our bills for debt discharge? Yeah, you can do a grantee acceptance on that and return that to the alien property custodian. And there is slight debate on whether or not you have to have an authenticated birth certificate for them to. I don't think you do, because they are already authorized and control and able to handle and deal with enemy assets, which the U.S. citizen is an enemy. So, you send it to the alien property custodian to set off, settle, and close. And according to trust law, trust cannot fail for lack of trustee, and it's enforceable once you create a trust. Everything is in trust. Everything. Relationships, money, when you're driving, sitting in a chair is trust. Everything. You trust that you're going to wake up. Everything's in trust. But in the public, there's a duality of creditor, debtor, Republican, Democrat, plus and minus. But there's always three. There's the trust law. You always got to look for the triangle of everything. But most people can't handle past the duality of things. Just got a notification from my lawnmower. All right, Jimmy. Yes, I do. Okay, thanks. I'll take a look at your link in your bio. Yeah, so I have information on my website. Plus, you can also DM me if you need some one-on-one consultations. I give consultations for free all the time. Ryan, what is it? I have the authenticated BC, but how do you fill it out? Do you have a template and what codes to put? So I have information on trust law on my website. I also have some codes under money on my website that you could put on it if you want to. As the author and creator of a trust, it is up to you how you want to create your indentures for your trustee. Okay. The accepted for value, returned for value is garbage, but it is a process that you can enforce. I can enforce a process on a napkin, on a bar napkin, but can you? And if you don't know what you're doing, then I don't suggest trying to send anything to the alien property custodian to set off, settle, and close. But if you are learned and you're able to create a trust and you understand how trust law works and you've done your due diligence, like you've read Weiss's Concise Trustee Handbook, which I highly suggest. It's a very short read. I also have more information on my playlist. And so I think House Joint Resolution 192 got repealed, but there's still some codes that you can put on, and I don't remember, it's like 53 UCC something. It's on my website under money. Not too much garbage. Trump did it. ACV, A for V, R for V. Yes, you can enforce, and if you watch my video on accepted for value, return for value, it's a very, very slim chance. It's just like trying to do the secure party creditor process. In the legal system, in the public, it's not about the truth. It's about what you can prove and what you can enforce. And if you can prove and enforce your A for V, R for V, or your secure party creditor, and you can trump the opposing party, then you can win. And that's what it's all about. It's not about what's true, right, or justice. Just like in the Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not kill." Well, U.S. corporations go out there and do that to other countries all the time. But it's not right for you to do it, but they can do it. What gives them the authority over life and death? It's all smoke and mirrors out there, and the truth for the public. The public keeps everybody in lockstep. So. Ryan, what is it? I'm working on the trust right now. Yeah, so there's 5 indicia for a trust. It has to have property, a purpose, and property and purpose, and the 3 parties have to be identified: the trustee, the grantor, and the beneficiary. Those are the 5 indicia for a trust. You can have a trust that's 1 page long. You can have a trust that's 16,000 pages long. You can have a trust that is constructive. You can have a trust that's verbal, viva voce. That's not in writing. It's up to you. How you create your trust. It's jazz. Are you bills in private trust, and do you settle and close them with the account? I set off my bills with the debt obligations of the U.S. With Federal Reserve notes. The U.S. citizen, and when the U.S. citizen involves itself in a activity that is taxable, it pays taxes. And I went full circle with learning all about that stuff. You're not taxed on who you are, you're taxed on how you do business. And if my U.S. citizen engages in for-profit in the federal zone, there's tax liability. And if it's going to be engaged in Federal Reserve notes. Now, I can also engage myself outside of all of those entities, outside of U.S. jurisdiction, outside of state jurisdiction, outside of, 2 sovereigns can contract any way they want. But the bills for the U.S. citizen, it pays, using Federal Reserve notes, because a lot of companies don't want to take silver and gold. Because they're registered to the federal government and they have, general accounting practices they have to deal with. I tried to invest with Merrill Lynch with a gold-backed digital asset a long time ago. I don't have any cryptocurrencies. I don't mess with none of that garbage. Because I don't know, I think they have like a 84% fail rate or something on cryptocurrencies. So it's highly volatile. Of course, it's high risk, high reward stuff, but I don't mess with none of that stuff. But a long time ago, I told one of my investors, I was like, yeah, I want to invest in gold-backed digital asset currency, or gold-backed digital currency, and they're like, oh, we can't do that. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, because they can't deal with anything of substance in the public. It just is what it is. Thanks for the share of the live. Much appreciate it, Spirit. Guys, spend some time if you want. Watch the playlist on my profile. Watch the videos I've created. I spent a lot of time to try to help re-educate everybody. This time is for a case-by-case basis and equity to try to help and enlighten one-on-one. Any questions that you ask, they're insolvent. They can't deal in gold or silver. That's what I love about the fact that you can use fiat currency to buy actual money of substance. That's like how crazy everything is. It's just so backwards and wishy-washy and upside down that you can actually buy money of substance on with Federal Reserve notes, which is wild. Which is nothing but a promise to pay. A Federal Reserve note is a promise that the U.S. will pay one day, and I don't know if that day's ever coming or what's going to happen, if there's ever going to be a correction to the insolvency or what. But you can create entities that are solvent. You can have stuff that's backed by gold and silver. You can do all that, and the state can't impede in contractual obligations as long as you're not harming anybody. There's certain maxims in law that you can do a lot of stuff if you understand how businesses work. And look, guys, it takes time. We're purposely not taught in our education system in the school of how to do taxes, of how to create corporations, of how things really are, because the controllers of our education system, our food industry, our medical industry, all that stuff, do not want us to learn the truth. They want us kind of blinded in a box, running on the hamster wheel, working 9 to 5, making barely enough to rub together, to make ends meet at the end of the day. That's how the whole system is designed, and it's very hard to get out of it, okay? And with knowledge and ability, you can do it. And what is really, thank you for the heart. Much appreciated, Dennis. Your gifts will be used to help others by promoting educational videos. I thank you. So with time and effort, you can learn how the system is, and you can start to do. I watched this 5-hour video on this guy. Thank you for the heart, much appreciated. Akea, that's a beautiful name. You can take time and educate yourself and learn how everything's laid out. What is this? Oh my gosh, I got a tick. That's a wild bird looking thing. You sent me a couch potato. Thank you, Dennis. Much appreciated. Again, your gifts will be used to help others. Thank you. With the time and effort and energy, and you try to enlighten yourself to be able to re-educate, you can understand how all the systems that are in play work. And this 5-hour interview that I watched in this guy, the way the education is set up in this current schooling system is that they want to create capital creating minions, and they don't want well-educated critical thinkers. He found out that the best path for everybody is like I'm doing, which is a one-on-one, case-by-case basis. And it was so beneficial, but he got fired from the schooling system because he was trying to help people on a case-by-case basis instead of teaching him the garbage that everybody goes through. But we're purposely not taught about how the systems really work in the public because they want everybody in lockstep. But what is cool about the system is it's kind of honorable on a very high level once you learn how all the pieces kind of fit together and work. But it is not suggested to work a 9 to 5 for a corporation, because it's just one of those things where you will never ever get out. You can create your own business entities to do things with. I wish everything was non-profit, because profit is a very horrible type of insidious system that is very cancerous. And typically what happens, even with great not-for-profits, is corporate greed starts taking over slowly. Whenever you have, the last corporation that I worked at, it used to be ran by a guy that was all about family and love and respect, and then it slowly just kind of moved into a corporate greed, business bottom dollar type of deal. Because over time, like as the board changes and stuff like that, that's what can happen very easily. But a not-for-profit guy can you can do almost exactly the same thing for-profit can do as a not-for-profit. And guess what? You don't get taxed. The only thing is the IRS, who is a neutral third-party accounting system, just wants to know where the money's going. So because corporate greed usually trumps everything, they end up trying to hide money. That's what everybody wants to do with a corporation, is they want to hide money. And because of that, that's why you're taxed so much. And you, as a worker bee at the bottom that are supporting that system, you get taxed too, because you're helping the for-profit insidious system that is basically set up to implode and doesn't care about people, and it's all about money. So Justin Starr, the courts are banks. Everything is banking. Yes, it is. Everything is banking. 100%. Thank you for all the likes, guys. I'm almost up to 5,000. I almost feel like saying at 5,000, I'll start twerking like some of them ASMR girls or whatever to be on here. Like at 5,000 likes, I'll start brushing my hair really slow backwards, the little bit that I got left on top as I'm thinning. Got truth too. Can you turn the music down? Is it still loud? Really? Dang, I've turned this thing. What's weird is I used to have it up way louder on my. Maybe it just picks up music better from the back, because I used to have it right next to my mic at my old office. Yeah, I hope that's better, and I hope it's not too loud. Well, I will listen to this music later. So I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. I set this time aside to help everybody's one-on-one and answer any questions. Is it so loud still? Like now? So this is one of the problems I had with trying to play music on my actual computer, is there was some frequency modulation where it was like interfering. It didn't matter how low I turned it, it would still be blasting. But I have it, so that's why I play it on my phone, and maybe it's because I have it plugged in. See if that changes anything. I unplugged it from. Well, it's not even in my computer. I don't know. Anyway, I hope it's better. When I listen to this later, it's gonna suck if it's super blasting, because that does kind of take away from it. It's your mic sensitivity setting on the PC. Well, I noticed that I have to crank it up really high on my mic, because normally it's but right now it looks like it's going really loud. Oh, I have it up at 450%. Let me turn it down just a little bit. Am I too quiet now on the mic, guys? I hope it's okay. Well, if you want to listen to this and all my ramblings, it'll be on YouTube, the video. The audio will be on my Telegram group. All my social media is linked on my website. My website's linked on my profile page of TikTok. You can check out all my playlists to help re-educate you with auxiliary information. No, hear you good is a little better. You can hear me good? Okay, cool. All right. So if y'all don't have any questions, we can call it a short night, short day. It is Friday. I know everybody's got stuff to do, and I've got plenty to do. I am like I said, I almost didn't come on, and I'm like, I even cut my girlfriend short on the phone, like, and I like talking to her, and I was just like, I was like, let me get on here to help y'all, because I just haven't been on here in so long, between vacation and moving and stuff like that. So anyway, it is Friday. If y'all don't have any questions, we can wrap up. We can call it a short night. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves. Thank you everybody for being educated. Thank you for all the diamonds, the hearts, the shares, the likes. All your gifts will be used to help others. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you. I will be trying to come on here more regularly on Fridays now that I've gotten kind of situated. It just took a lot for me to get a lot of furniture moved and everything all set up. It's just Spirit, my consultations are free. I don't charge for anything. You can donate to me if you feel led to, but I do not charge a dime for anything. Any of my teachings, all of my stuff is free. My website's free. All of my playlists. You can call me, DM me, email me. I answer everybody when I can. Now, sometimes it will take a day or two because I am busy between my 2 kids, my ex, my girlfriend, the 30 properties that I manage, and stuff like that. So I do get kind of swamped in, but go spend time. I'm not spending no time with her tonight. She's working late, so I'm not gonna see her no more. But I did get off the phone with her so that I could get on here, because I'm gonna go pick up my son, I think, in a little bit. Yeah, you can donate if you feel led to, but you don't have to. I appreciate it. And you can DM me and check my emails on my website or my profile page also, if you want a consultation. But I always suggest people to watch the playlist on my profile, because it'll most likely answer and clear up a lot of the confusion, because there's a lot of misinformation that goes around and spreads like wildfire. It's almost like this platform knows if it's misinformation, and it will just... Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have seen some good information that gets blasted out to millions of people, but a lot of times I see fear-mongering and false information just get spread to the masses by millions. Like, it's just crazy. And then, like I said, like Bree Divine trying to tell people that you should just write the IRS and say you're a human and you're done, you don't have to pay taxes anymore. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? P. Cruz, hey, I need to have a few minutes of your time. Can we schedule time? Yeah, you can try to just DM me and we can set up a time, or you can call me on my profile from my website and just see if I answer, and then I'll just say when's a good time or not. Tonight might not be a good night. Like I said, I almost didn't come on. Thank you guys so much for all the gifts. I appreciate your time. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. It's been 50 minutes. Oh, we have chatted on the phone already? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Like I said, I help thousands of people. And then a lot of people, they'll change their username. They've got a different username on Telegram, on TikTok. And then they got their real name. And then it's like, I can't remember 3,000, 4,000 names and stuff like that. Anyway. I hope y'all have a great weekend. It is Friday. Thank you so much for all the hearts. I'm glad I can finally see them now, the way this is all set up. And I'm pretty well established in my new office, so it should be up and running. I'll be putting out 1 video a week and should be back in the groove and the swing of things. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Thank you for all your help.